Welcome in, guys, welcome in. We're just on our way to one of the sites for the Great British Strike that starts at 12 o'clock down in my local town. We've got our St. George's Cross flying on the back, just like an English warrior should have. I will be doing my best to, yes. Obviously this is just a test run as we walk in. Obviously the event starts at 12. And it's too bloody windy today. Way too windy. Thank you for liking the live, I appreciate that. Look now, can't see. Welcome in, guys. Just in case people are unaware, there's a big protest all over the country in many different cities. If you give me one moment, I should be able to post or show you guys actually where these locations are. Do that, then do that. This is where we're off to. Off to one of these locations for the demo stroke strike today. Obviously, I'm sorry it's not in bigger format so you can see it clearly, but you can always move the comments, take a screenshot of it, and then zoom in for the locations to see if there's one nearby you. But this is where we're currently on our way to, and as soon as I get to the starting location, I will bring back the live feed. I'm in Gloucestershire, mate. So I will be attending the one in Gloucester. It's all been pretty last minute for me, to be fair. I only found out they were doing one in my town. Similar to the Norfolk accent. Nowhere near Norfolk, thank you. But appreciate it. I'm more of a West Country guy. Oh, if we could be tapping up the screen, if we can hit 5k taps on the screen, we'll be on the FYP. Oh, it's quite a distance away. Gloucester from Norfolk is very much many miles apart. It's basically across the country. Disco circus, disco circus. Just go careful what you put in the comments, guys. Remember to use TikTok friendly words in the comments. Right. Hey Vicky, welcome to the live. We're just on our way to go and cover the Great British Strike that's happening in all these locations across the country. But luckily enough, I'm in the town centre, so there will be no trees. You know. But if we could get the likes up, I'd very much appreciate it. And thanks for the follows, guys. I also do debates on Fridays, discussing various topics. We had one last night where it was regarding the persecution of Tommy Robinson and the fact that he should have been getting released, and how the mainstream media and the establishment want him to eventually take his own aliving. Welcome in, Pete. Pete, I'm going to make you a mod, fella. Oh no, you're not my Pete, my bad. But yeah, right, I'm going to take this thingy off. How do I do that? Go to effects, go to the green screen, I do that. Oh look, you can see my lovely trainers. You know, what city am I in? I'm in the city of Gloucester today. Travelled all the way here because I'm not too far over in Cheltenham, so we've made our way over. Obviously the event starts at 12 o'clock, but as you can see, we're wrapping the flag today. Welcome in from Bournemouth. They would be my feet, Victoria. As you can see now, we're just walking up into the town. It's the Great British Strike. I only found out about it yesterday. It's basically patriots and everyone standing together because of all the tyranny and the two-tierness and everything else. Everyone from all sides of politics, I understand, is to be here. So anyone that's upset with the way this country is being put in, yep, you can be Sikh, you can be Hindu, you can be Muslim. As long as you're legally allowed in this country, you are welcome to this strike that's happening today, from what I've been told. Well, no one would have known I was government naming you until you said stop government naming me. So you set yourself up there, didn't you, really? But yes, we're just now heading into the centre of town now. But like I said, guys, I'm not too sure what to expect. From what I understand it, the guy that's organised it, anyone can join, I believe, as long as you're a legal British citizen. You're more than welcome. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. You know, as long as you are legally a British citizen, you are allowed to join. Pete, you've changed your photo, you knob. Let me make you a bloody mod. There is loads of UK protesting. Yes, there is. They all start at 12 o'clock today. But this was a last minute one for me. I didn't know there was one quite close to my city. So we've ended up coming over last minute. So I wasn't able to plan a live stream or find out more information. I'm always last minute. Yeah, that seems to be right, to be fair. You know, but we're now just walking out of the lovely, wonderful Eastgate here in Gloucester. Oh. So it should be fun, hopefully. We're fine on. Yes. No, I'm about to attend a demo live on TikTok. Sorry, mate. Oh. Oh. Someone just wanting to stop me about Jesus Christ. Don't have time for that today, unfortunately. Plus, you guys don't want to see me talking to Mormons. Though it might have been quite entertaining. You know, no one wants to see that. Yo, Pete, are you still in here, brother? Yeah, I have heard something about that when he's next back up in court. Should have made him join me. Yeah, I probably should have, to be fair. But I didn't. Yeah. So there's some sort of party political protest here, or something like that. So we should go and have a look. I see a couple of Union Jacks. You know, the socialist. You know. So there's already someone here with a Union Jack. You know, but we're at the location. Obviously we're a little bit early and I'm about to lose my flag again, so bear with me a second. Let me just stick you guys up here so I can sort myself out a second. There we go.
Council are on it. Somerset Council. It's just stuff with Greens and Labour.
Love that, mate. Good to see that.
Yeah, man. Got to be proud to fly the flag.
I haven't got a clue. Do you know, I spoke to a lady the other day about the geoengineering. Oh my God. She didn't have a clue. She's like, no.
Sorry guys, I've just got you up on a statue. Protest is not left wing, it's not right wing, it's just the right way. Exactly. Exactly.
I said, look it up. I said, it's even on the government's own website, so, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was on that neighbourhood. Did you ever have that neighbourhood site?
Well, I've got you on there. I'm going to use my hands to make a smoke.
Next door, sorry. It's like a community.
So, you got some socialists there that like to fight for crap.
It's right in front of your eyes, and they're saying, yeah, it's all conspiracy.
Yeah, I know about the Football Alliance's demo on the 28th.
Yeah.
That one, unfortunately, I won't be able to make because I have family commitments. Thank you guys for following, appreciate it. If we could keep tapping the screen, that would be great.
So I think he's going scorched earth policy now, because he knows, do you know what I mean?
This is Gloucester.
People waking up to it, do you know what I mean? That's it. Because obviously the worst thing that could happen to that is 3 simple words: do not comply. Yeah. If we all said we're fed up with your bullshit, we ain't going to do it anymore, and that'd be it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know who organised this Gloucester one?
I don't know who organised the Gloucester one, no. Only the main, with the classes.
My sister told me, she said,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said ages ago it's got somebody running.
the main, the soldiers.
Yeah, to be fair, it doesn't start until midday. I got here a little bit early.
I just hope it does well.
I'm sure all the major stations are.
Guys, tell me in the comments if you want me to go and speak to these two chaps in front of us that are currently on screen about their socialist views.
Downing Street, that's where they're holding Downing Street.
Oh, they're all doing it down?
Yeah. So he said he's going to be doing a live stream from midday. So he's covering that. And I chatted to another guy he's in Devon, but he's nearest one. He's in Exeter. So he...
Should we go and have a word, yeah? As you can see, they're from the socialist. So if you have any questions, I'm sure
Live streaming.
they'll ask. Yes, I am, yeah, on TikTok.
Yeah, happy to take questions.
So tell me about the Socialist Party then. Where do you all stand? What's your agenda?
Okay. Well, our history is that we used to work inside the Labour Party. We got kicked out in 1987 for being too good at organising with the Labour Party. So we led Liverpool City Council, which got £60 million out of Thatcher when she was cutting the funding for local councils. With that money, we built award-winning council houses and nurseries and other things that working class people like. And the others, like Sheffield City Council, who was led by David Blunkett, decided not to fight Thatcher and didn't get anything out of her. Going on to 1990, there was a huge feeling against Thatcher because the poll tax she brought in. We led that campaign, starting in Scotland, who were used as guinea pigs for the poll tax, and 18 million people in this country were prepared to go to jail. Even in sleepy Gloucestershire, 18 million people altogether were prepared to go to jail for non-payments of the poll tax, and some did, including people who were jailed by Labour-controlled councils.
Yeah.
So we're making our own way politically, because there is no mass workers' party to replace the Labour Party, who are showing their true colours. They've had to do a backtracking on pensioners' winter heating.
The winter fuel allowance.
That's the first backtrack of many, we hope.
Yep.
So we're organising against which type of Tory party is in power, whether it's the red Tories or the blue Tories.
Well, hopefully it'd be none of them. It'd be the light blue Tories, which are reform.
Well, if reform come in, we do have some idea from what's happened across the world.
Yeah.
With parties to the right of the traditional conservative or Christian Democrats, as they call them in continental Europe. It's more of the same. It's more austerity. Going back to UKIP, when the coalition government came in and started making severe cuts, UKIP had a pro-cuts demonstration, while there were anti-cuts demonstrations by the likes of us.
This is Gloucester, guys. Sorry.
Going back to 2015, the leader of UKIP in Wales, Nathan Gill, he might be in reform now, I don't know. But he told the Independent that yes, his family did own a care company in Hull, had a contract with Hull City Council, and yes, it is embarrassing, he said, but yes, my family's company does employ immigrants. We have Filipinos and we have Eastern Europeans, and we can't afford to pay them much because the City Council is making cuts, even though his party is pro-cuts. So go figure that one out. So we're actually on the side of the working class. That's what we're about.
Okay.
Working class need enough money to live on.
Yep.
So we're advocates of trade unions. I don't know how Reform feels about trade unions.
I don't know. I'm not part of any organisation. I just know that the state of our country right now, something needs to be done, and we can't carry on living like this.
Surely you need to have some idea of what needs to be done.
Well, we need to stop the boats for a start. I know that's a catchy slogan that everyone uses, but we need to sort out the immigration stuff.
So why do you think a leader of the UKIP in Wales, Nathan Gill, and you can check this, it was in the Independent 2015, why do you think they do use in their businesses, on the quiet, because Trump actually used Mexicans, which he described as criminals and rapists, to build his hotels.
Well, it's cheap labour, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, we all know that cheap labour.
And it's all about pushing down the wages for people born in this country as well.
Yep.
It's class war. It's class war. And I'll give you a quote from 2006, and the fourth richest man in the world, Warren Buffett, who just stood down from the investment corporation he runs. He said to the New York Times, they asked him, is there class war? He said, there's class war, all right, but it's my class, the rich, that's making war, and we're winning. You can check that on the website of the New York Times.
Okay, cool.
So that's what we're up against, from the world's fourth richest man, who I think should be believed on this occasion.
Yeah.
You won't hear that from Nigel Farage or Richard Tice. Richard
So
Thompson.
someone's just asked in my comments, do you guys attend the pro-Palestinian demos and stuff like that and support Hamas, etc.?
Don't support Hamas, but we do support Palestinians.
Right, okay. And can I ask
Or
why?
don't support Hamas or Hezbollah.
Right, okay, but you're quite happy to stand with them, waving your...
With who?
Placards.
Not Hamas.
But I've seen the demos in London where you're marching with them, and there's the Hezbollah flag, there's the Hamas flag,
also
there's people dressed up in terrorist
any individual
gear.
can come to a demonstration with a Hezbollah or Hamas
You know.
flag, can't they?
Well,
There's
but
no-
we also
I
know
people-
that Hamas is a
I know people on the left who
described-
support Hamas, and I disagree with
a described terrorist organisation, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
and
Nelson-
from my
Nelson
understanding
Mandela-
of the laws in this country,
Yeah.
if you're flying a flag in support of a T group, that's against the law.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know.
Donation. Thank you.
So why, if the Socialist Party stand for workers and the people in this country, why do they feel that it's fine to stand with people that are actively supporting T groups?
People in this country are
Yeah, people in this country, whether they've been shipped in or not, why is it fine for the Socialist Party to stand there with people that are
because
actively supporting T
groups
groups?
like Palestine Solidarity Campaign, who I used to be involved in. I'm not a single issue person, so I didn't really want to stay on that issue. So I see it all as a problem of capitalism. But we fight within those groups to not have the likes of Hamas and Hezbollah supported in those groups. So we are, just as when we worked inside the Labour Party, lots of right-wingers
Yeah.
who wanted anti-trade union legislation, like in 1969 with Barbara Castle, anti-trade union legislation in the bloody Labour Party.
Yeah.
So we fight within those groups because we can, if we're organised, we can have an effect to stop
'Cause you
misguided
also-
people supporting Hamas.
You also like to, not just on the Hamas Palestinian front, you also like to support the people that come out against people like Tommy Robinson and Richard Inman, etc., that expose grooming gangs. Can you tell me why that is? Because I don't understand it as a father myself. Anyone that's exposing that sort of
We
stuff.
like to come out against people who are fighting grooming gangs.
Yes, I've seen it myself in Telford, where I've been there on demonstrations
Yeah.
where we've been out in grooming gangs, and Mr. Robinson has shown videos exposing and capturing the perpetrators of this, and we've had the Socialist Party, to name many others.
I don't consider this, for instance,
you know.
the Socialist Workers' Party. So I hope
No,
you may vote
I've
for the
definitely
British Party.
seen this banner here, the Socialist Party, fly with them, calling us racists and everything else, when all we
Grooming
want to do
gangs.
is protect our children.
No one member of the Socialist Party supports grooming gangs. But when right-wing politicians like Tommy Robinson try
But
to
he's not a politician, he's an advocate who's exposing something and standing up for the British people.
Well, he is a politician.
Well, he's not.
been
He's
elected.
not politically affiliated or anything like that. You know, now if it was a Britain First thing, then you could say it was a political party and he was a politician.
Okay, you can call him an activist then.
You know, he's an advocate, a journalist that exposes stuff that the mainstream don't. But you've sort of not answered the question of why you think it's fine to go and stand up against people, normal, decent
No, I
folk.
did answer that. I said
You know.
we do not support grooming gangs. Now, when a right-wing person, activist,
Explain to me how you don't support grooming gangs when you're out there confronting the people that are there to expose the grooming gangs,
Well,
because that sounds a bit contradictory to me.
Explain with the members of UKIP who employ immigrants, like Nathan Gill's family, not politicians, activists, if you want to call Tommy Robinson that, they're not always honest, are they? Right? Do we agree on that?
I've not seen anything.
always honest.
Most politicians are not honest. You know, I grew up when I was a kid and I said to my mother, I could be a politician. She went,
Why
why?
would you lie?
I said, because I can sit here and lie to your
Exactly.
face. You know, so anyone can be a politician. But where's Tommy? I personally believe people's...
Well, that's not even his real name, is it?
No, it's Stephen Yaxley Lennon. But as you know, when you go into...
We do that for the purposes of this interview.
Yeah, well, if you want to call him Stephen Yaxley Lennon, that's fine. You know.
Mickey Mouse if you want to. Should we actually call the guy by his name?
Well, it's
Shall we-
probably better than
shall
what
we
half my
ask
chat
why
are
he
doing,
doesn't
but
use his real name?
you know, well, it's
He's a businessman, isn't
he's
he?
well known as Tommy Robinson, isn't he?
businessman,
But he's well known as Tommy Robinson, isn't he?
Like Donald Trump. Seems to have a problem with people who've got dark skin. He likes to put on fake tan to make his own skin look paler, and similarly,
Okay, so now,
Stephen Laxley Lennon has got
we're
his
now
chain-
attacking people for the way they like to present themselves. Okay.
because they're dishonest. That's why.
Well,
Have you ever met an honest politician? I haven't.
Yeah, David Ellis, our politician, right? He took a worker's wage when he was an MP on a full MP salary. He took a worker's
They should
wage.
all be made to take a lie detector test before they
I
went
just
into
explained
comment,
to you.
because then you'd know.
I've just explained to you
yeah.
why our politician, when we have politicians, when we look at working with the Labour Party, they took a real worker's wage. Dave Nellis was a former car worker from Coventry. He took a worker's wage and gave the rest to the workers' movement of his MP salary. Name me any other politician who's ever done that, or activist in the case of Stephen Yaxley Lennon. But why doesn't he?
But anyone can identify as what they want. So if Tommy Robinson wants to identify as Tommy Robinson, then he can instead of Stephen Yaxley Lennon, just like your silly placard there about trans. There is no such thing as trans. I believe it's a mental health condition.
Do you believe there's such thing as homosexuality?
Yes, I believe a man can be with a man and a woman can be with a woman.
Agreed.
But if you're born if you're born
agree with that.
okay, so there's the first
So
far
we're in
right
transition,
comment.
all right?
Right.
Excuse the-
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're born a man, you cannot be a woman, no matter how many surgeries you have. It's scientifically proven.
Yeah, well, you can hold that
Because
opinion,
you're.
yeah.
It's not an opinion, it's fact. Your chromosomes don't change.
Biologically, I agree with you.
So therefore, there's no such things as trans. But if you're going on about you
Yeah,
fight for trans,
anyway.
which means you believe you can be
Yes.
whatever you want, right? And
just
identify as what you want.
if it's gonna
So
let me-
Mr. Stephen Yaxley Lennon
Yeah.
wants to identify as Tommy Robinson.
Okay,
But
well,
you're then saying
it's
that
good-
we
it's
need
good
to address
use his real
him.
name now, anyway.
You're saying that we need to address him by his
what
real
this
name.
is about
But
is-
yet
what
the
this is
fight for
about-
trans means you can be anything you want.
What this is about is divide and rule, okay?
Well, it isn't, is it?
No, it's not about the supposed issue of trans. Just as in the 1980s, people like yourself will come up to people like me and complain about people who are identifying as homosexual, right? You've accepted that now, so you've made a change yourself.
At the end of the day, whatever anyone wants to
People on
do,
the right
as
do
far
not
as I'm
agree
concerned,
there's such a thing as homosexuality.
whatever anyone wants to do, if you want to go and bum a guy, go and bum a guy, right? If you want to go and eat vagina, eat vagina. If you want to dress up in women's clothing to make yourself feel I draw the
In
line.
the 80s, when Thatcher got the books in libraries taken out because they were pro-homosexuality.
Right, I wouldn't know, I wasn't born in the 80s.
Nobody on the right is homosexual.
No, I don't
I
think
know
that at all.
lots of people who
Of
are
course they are,
homosexual on
yeah.
the right.
I expect some are trans as well.
No, they're not actually.
What do you
But
mean, Stephen, he had an Irish surname, who was found hung himself with an
I don't
orange
know
in
it.
his face.
I'm talking about
and with
you
women.
said
He's a
people
former
on the
Tory
right
MP.
don't agree with homosexuality. That is
You would have heard it at the
outrageous.
time. Sorry?
That is outrageous.
What is?
To say people on the right don't agree with homosexuality. You just said that.
No, I said that in the 1980s. No, it's changed.
You
That's
say
my
no one
point.
on the right in the 1980s.
Hello, Dara,
was
welcome in.
homosexual.
No, they were not out in the night.
But anyway, what was your name, chap? I'm going to move on and...
I'm Andy.
Andy, nice
Yeah,
to meet you.
nice
I'm
chatting
English
with you.
Warrior.
You're an English warrior.
Yes.
Yeah, of course you are.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? What's your name, fella?
Chris Faulkner.
Chris Faulkner, welcome. What brings you here today?
Just discussing the way we're being treated. Government's not listening to anything we say. We should be given the right to vote on any of these matters that they're doing. They're letting any Tom, Dick and Harry over on these boats where they should be checked. They're throwing their passports away to come into our country. And that tells me that they're not here legitimately. They're putting them up in hotels where our people on the streets, there's a lot around here at night, British people, they've got nowhere to go. And I just think it's wrong that they're pressurising us, and there's no free speech anymore. A lot of people are scared to talk.
Yeah, I would
I'm
agree.
not. But a lot of people are frightened to talk, and I just think it's just so wrong that they do things in secret, like the Chagos Islands and everything. People should have had a vote on that. There's no voting on anything at all they do. You know, I mean, what are they doing about stopping these boats? He keeps talking about stopping these boats. Surely, wouldn't it be easier? And I have looked into it. Why can't they just put a boat on the channel and say you can't come in, we're full, go back? Surely, is there something wrong with doing that? Instead of overrunning our country? In 4 years' time, we'll be outnumbered. And I think it's disgraceful. It's the worst government we've ever had.
But do you think it's a government issue, or do you think it's the people behind?
I don't think...
You know, the establishment.
I don't think he is in any way running all this. I think it's somewhere much higher up.
Yeah, I would agree in that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the Labour puppeteers that we're seeing as currently supposedly running the government.
They're just all fighting to talk.
Yeah.
He's put fear. I mean, he stood up in America, didn't he? We're very proud of our free speech. We've got no free speech.
Yeah. Well, Vance actually pulled him out on that, and that was quite awkward. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious.
I did. I like that.
So
I don't know what else to say. Just I don't know where this is going to go, or whether he's going to listen. He doesn't seem to listen to anybody, does he?
Well, no. He has sort of backtracked though on the winter fuel, but I think that's due to the fact that he knows that he's going to lose seats come the next election. So, you know, I personally think that we should just get rid of the lot and start again.
I do as well. Yeah, get rid of the whole lot.
Because, you know, the common issue that I see at every rally or gathering of great British people, the main focus is immigration.
It is.
The problem is, it's not just immigration that's causing this issue that we have.
No.
It's a lot bigger than that.
It's a lot bigger, yeah.
You know, but that's the main focus point, because that's what's overrunning.
Fishermen and everything.
Yeah, the fishermen's just been screwed. The farmers have just been, I say just been screwed. They got screwed back last year as soon as Labour come into power.
And I see that.
So it's sort of like, where do we go? But it's time people need to wake up and realise where we are. But, well, thank you for coming on and saying your piece. I appreciate that.
Where will you put this later?
It's on TikTok Live at the moment.
Oh, it's on TikTok Live?
Yeah, on TikTok, yeah. So as long as nothing happens and I don't get bananaed or copyrighted, I will then endeavour to upload it to YouTube.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you guys. If you could keep tapping the screen, that'd be very much appreciated. Pete, are you still in here, bud? It's a general strike in the way our country currently is. Can you just keep an eye on the comments, please, mate? You know, I'm happy for people to have their say, but as soon as they start making silly comments that don't contribute, just mute them. No, it's called a strike for a reason, because it gets around a load of red tape. That's why there's hundreds going across all the cities and towns.
Oh, she was living there with you?
Your problem is not immigration, you have a corrupt government. Exactly, Raw. You know, I don't have it, well, I do have an issue with immigration, but I have more than just that issue. But this isn't about what my issues are. I'm here to sort of bring what's happening and try and be independent, as you saw with that socialist guy who now seems to have fucked off with his table. So that's quite ironic, really, isn't it? You know. If you believe it's all a distraction, Foxy, then you believe it's a distraction. You know. as I've already told you, it's not just the immigrants, it's everything else that's going on. But the reason why people blame the immigrants is because it's being pumped out by the mainstream media that they're the issue. Should we go and see this chap over here and see if people have got any other views to why they've been here? We've got some nice... I got this off of Amazon about a year ago. No, it was because I was in London and I wasn't up here, and I needed a flag to go to a St George's Day parade. So... the green one, I'm not too sure. I can go over and ask for you. If you just bear with me a second. Excuse us, chaps. Someone's just asked me, what flag is this?
Gloucestershire, flag of the county.
It's the flag of Gloucestershire, guys. The flag of the county. See, I was born here and I never knew that. So, but there's quite a good group coming. So, I don't know what the plan is. Hiya.
That's what flag it is. It's flag of Gloucestershire. It's our county flag.
Oh, okay, cool.
We're from Cheltenham.
Right, yeah, I've just come over from Cheltenham today.
But yeah, it's the flag of the county. I want to keep it one united county. There's some councils in the county want to split it in half, create two.
Right, okay.
More money. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I would say that's a bad idea as well, to be fair. So, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, man. Ugh. No, exactly. You know, my sister's one of them, and that's why I've stood up and decided to start covering. And it's called the 7 Cross, is it? Oh, okay, cool. You learn something new every day. Thank you, Dylan. You know, yes, Raw. I don't know how many times you want to constantly repeat the rhetoric that we have a corrupt government. We know we do. If I see you post that again, just so you're aware, you will be muted. Because you posted that like 7 or 8 times now. Thank you for the follows, guys. Right. Pete, if you're in here, can you deal with Raw, please? And there's the Union Jack. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that for that. I have tried to share it out to the rest to try and get you some help in here, because I know the live can get quite busy, but no one seems to have replied. I should have turned, what's the green, blue St George's Cross? That's the flag of Gloucestershire. Dylan just said it was called the 7 flag. Not a GCSE between them. I bet you haven't got any either, fella. Thanks, Blue, for sharing the live. Appreciate that. Thanks for the gifts, guys. It's not necessary, but all gifts raised in any of my lives go to charities. So if you like what we're broadcasting or like our debates on a Friday, we do a mental health quiz night on a Sunday as well. We've got one coming up tomorrow. Get Starmer out, I would agree with that too. Mosh, right? You're saying there's not a college, a uni or a GCSE in sight. I'll have you know I've got 11 GCSEs, I went to college and I've been to uni and got a degree in psychology. So, you know, maybe you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, you know. What fascist scum is that then that you're on about there, Calvin? I'm not scared, you know. It's time to stand up and show the people what's actually going on and not what the mainstream wants you to know. You know. Yeah, there's some people over here with their England flag. Well done, little man, well done. Yes, England. Oh. From all walks of life. From all walks of life. What's going on in my opinion? The British people have had enough of everything that this Labour government and the establishment are doing. So they're coming out to protest. That's my personal opinion. I try not to have personal opinions when I do lives, because then people think it goes one-sided. But this isn't just the only one. There's other demos happening all across the country. What I will do is I will put up the list of where they all are again. Oh, let's go to the floor so people can see the list of where all the locations are. Yeah, people are striking on a Saturday because most people that are here striking on a Saturday work Monday to Friday. So when else are they supposed to strike? Is Coventry on there? I'm not too sure, but what you can do is you can swipe left, get rid of the comments, take a screenshot, and then be able to zoom in. I know there is one possibly in Coventry, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I've just proved my intelligence. Well, you've just proved that you're a twat. After your many comments, Calvin. So tell her. It's about not spending money, exactly. Exactly, it was legal reasons why it was called a strike, correct. Like I said, I only found out about this at the last minute, so I'm just here to sort of cover it really and get people's opinions. Unfortunately, some comments are filtered, and I'm on my own with one mod in here to try and unfilter. So if your comment doesn't get posted, I have seen it or a mod has seen it. It's just we haven't been able to catch it to approve it. Well, we're upset about everything, from immigration to the winter fuel allowance to the fact that our energy prices are going up, you know. But if you've got to ask that question, clearly you're not upset about anything that's going on. But what I'll do now is I will go back to the main feed, because we are starting to get a little more busy. I would agree, rich old people don't need the winter fuel allowance, but then you shouldn't go and punish the 95% of OAPs that do need the winter fuel allowance. Well, Bella, you know, some of the things that you're upset about, I can guarantee you there's people here that would be upset by them too. So why is immigration an issue though? Really? Why is immigration an issue, Vinny? Where have you been sleeping? Don't want to insult your intelligence, but have you been sleeping under a rock?
Get it cancelled.
No, it's the elite that underpay the working class, legally born British citizens. That's the issue, because if they paid the people that were born in this hollow land a proper wage, then we wouldn't need immigration, would we? And we definitely wouldn't need illegals. Not that I like to call them illegals, I call them criminals, because you've broken in, which is a criminal offence. So there you go, you've learnt something new. Well, let me move out of the way. The joke is, clearly you're not getting it there, Bella. You know, it's not just about the legal invaders that have turned up here. Oh. It's alright.
You need to be in it, Samuel. Okay, cool.
There you go, that's why we're all here.
Okay, guys.
Alright. There we go.
Get everybody in. And post it as much as you can, people.
What is all this about?
Okay, there's a bloke.
Young man in the English flag?
I'm not 100% sure. I just know that the British people are sick of the way the government are running things in the establishment.
Oh, but
And
we've been sick of them for years.
well, yeah, we have, especially the establishment, because as I like to say, it doesn't matter whether you're a blue ribbon or a red ribbon. You're not actually running the country, it's the people behind you.
Oh, I know. But you see, it's the people behind them who, let's just take Trump for an example. They can't stomach Trump.
Yeah.
But it's not his personality that's going to run the country, it's his desire to make the country good.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that.
No.
And they vote for the personality, not
Yeah.
their ability.
To run the country, exactly.
Well,
you
that's
know.
my opinion.
No, I would agree in that. It's all, you know, personality based, isn't it? Not what they can actually do for this great country. You know,
I'm
because.
surprised you've not been arrested.
Oh, I'm surprised with the St George's Cross on my back. I'm surprised. You know. No, it is our flag, and you should be proud to fly it and not intimidated
I
to.
agree with you.
You know.
Yes.
Oh, so we meet again.
We do. And what are you doing with that?
Filming you now.
Okay, cool. Well, if you're filming me, I'll film you for my
Carry
TikTok.
on, my man. I'm proud to be honest.
You know. Are you streaming live on TikTok?
No,
or?
I'm banned from streaming.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should take you off my stream then.
We're all having lunch at the wagon.
I don't blame you.
Yes, I'm starving.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Go and get some food.
So I hope you both have a fabulous day.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Ooh. We're currently in the centre of Gloucester. Oh, Daz, I see you like to take the mickey out of people with disabilities. That's nice. You're classy, you Dazzer. You know, find yourself fucked off. What is the green flag? The green flag is the flag of Gloucestershire, the county. Cheers, brother. I knew I didn't have to say much. Interesting, how is that different than discriminating against immigrants host? Well, anyone that's been discrimination, but I do believe in free speech, and if you start to toe the line, it'd be alright. If you go too far, we will block you, because I don't want the live being restricted and taken down. You know, you've got to remember, even though I believe in free speech, we don't actually have free speech. So exactly, but we also know, and we have seen it, that many people that fly the St. George's Cross or have it on their backs have been arrested by the two-tier justice system, haven't we?
Can I get your name so I can look for you later?
Yeah, on YouTube it's English.
I'm on Facebook and I'll grab your
Oh,
phone.
you're on Facebook?
I can go on to that on YouTube, but I'll search for it up.
Give me 1 second then, let me just mute this. Nice, a new subscriber on the YouTubes. Love it. Oh look, lager touts. Why? What's your thing against lager then, Hardy? With a name like that, you sound like a typical lager drinker. No one's ever been arrested for flying the St. George's flag. Well, you're wrong, because I have. Because it incites fear, apparently, especially to the ones that like to go on our streets and support the tea groups. You know, who would have thought a flag would instill fear? You know, it's inciting bigotry. That's your opinion. I'm far from a bigot, fella. You were probably making racial comments. Well, it's difficult to make racial comments when there's only one race, and that's the human race, fella. So, next one. Hello, Donna. Now you're in. You can give Pete a hand. I'll make you a mod. No, I've just muted you. I didn't want to do that. Come off that. Add moderator. There you go. This is so jobless. What people do you know that work a job on a Saturday when they've been working Monday to Friday? It's a protest, though we're not allowed to call it a protest because of legal reasons. So it's a general strike where people are coming out from all faiths, creeds, colours, cultures, religions to stand together to protest against the British government. Did you zip film his trousers after you finished? Oh, if only I was given that opportunity, that would be a godsend. At the end of the day, Callum, I believe in freedom of speech on all platforms, and that's why if you've ever followed me before, you know that I allow many things to go on. But we also have to respect that the people that run TikTok don't particularly like freedom of speech. This is in Gloucestershire, Tom. You know, unfortunately though, today it's very over cloudy. To be fair, John Smith, for the county of Gloucestershire, this isn't bad. given the fact there's ones all around the country. So I don't need to keep repeating the location. I'm sure one of them wants to type it and pin it. I've said it God knows how many times. The St. George's flag is a symbol of oppression to many. You lot have a problem with the Pride one. I have no such thing as an issue with the Pride one, to be fair. And I don't see my flag, as an Englishman, as a sign of oppression. So, but each to their own. I don't know how you can see a piece of material as a sign of oppression, but there you go. Small minds and all that, eh? I don't know if there's going to be an actual march. I'm not 100% sure, to be fair. So, sorry, sir, go on. I'm live streaming, so. I would agree. There's people that use the symbol of our flag, you know, to do despicable things. I would agree in that. But then you can't generalise someone for wanting to wave the St. George's flag and tar him with that same brush, can you? Thanks for the follows, guys. I managed to catch that comment, so I've approved it. If you believe Mr. Robinson tarnished it, then that's your opinion. If anything, I believe he's shown that people should be able to fly it high and proud. So, but we're allowed to have difference of opinion. It's a general strike. It's happening all across the country. This one is in Gloucester. If one of the mods could pin someone that's put in Gloucester so they know where we are at. Bean, striking on a weekend, right, is not just your traditional walking out on your job. This is about not spending money and giving it to the corporations and everything else. Yes, I know, yeah, so many filtered comments, I can't catch them all. You know. So I better not show Vodafone because the pro people that don't like places like Barclays might get angry. So let's try and keep it cordial, shall I? No, but this is just one of many towns and cities that it's happening. So well, I don't pay council tax because it's a fraudulent scheme. Okay, A*7, this ain't going to do anything, to be fair. Well, do you think the pro-terrorist marches that happen in London and across our country, do you think that does anything? I bet you don't sit there saying that in their chats, do you? Yeah, I pay my water, I pay my electric because we need it, unfortunately. I don't like paying it because it's an absolute rip-off. I don't genuinely go out to offend anyone, to be fair, fella. You know, it just comes naturally. I don't need to try. Thought they were anti-genocide. What, dressing up as prescribed terrorists? Okay. That's anti-genocide, right. Cool. Oh, for 2 seconds, I've just got to put that down so I can make a smoke. So carry on. It will be blank for a moment.
That's all right.
Where did you get it from? Amazon. No, I got my flag off Amazon and then someone looked at me and said, but you can't go into any shops and buy the same. It's ridiculous. So you have to get it offline. Yeah. Which is mad, isn't it? Right, we are back. Sorry, I had to put you in my pocket for a minute, guys, so I could. Not a single GCSE between them. Wow, you clearly haven't got one because that's the same comment that I hear every day. Mods, if you see something in the comments that you don't feel comfortable with, you know that you've got the right to just mute them. Loads turning up in London's Downing Street. Yes, I knew there was one down in Downing Street, and that's probably the one that's going to get the majority of people. But there's no good just having one down in one capital city. You know, you need it all across the country for it to make any sort of dent or ripple effect, don't you? Thank you, Lizzie. I appreciate that. I knew there was one down in Downing Street. Yeah, that is correct, Chris. This is the centre of Gloucester. Just making yourself look bad. What have I said? National Front? Don't think so, fella. Let me just see if I can catch up with this chap. Making a slur about National Front. What was that comment about the National Front? No, I'm allowed to film in public. What's your comment about the National Front?
Turn that off and I'll talk to you. Yeah?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it down there so it's on your face.
What are you doing? What's going on?
There's a general strike. And we're all pissed off with the way the government is treating.
General strike for what?
Oh, clearly you don't know anything. You think it's some National Front rally.
No, it's not.
What's the general strike for? I haven't heard this before. For what?
It's about protesting against the
I
government.
haven't heard anything from the union at work. A bit of strike?
No, they've called it a strike because it gets rid of a load of legal red tape.
Just sounds like make an excuse.
Nobody at my union at work hasn't told me it's about a national strike or anything.
I'm
only strike through my union.
That's fine.
You're letting your union down.
People, I'm not with a union. I'm my own person, a human being.
In that case, then you've got
I'm a human being. But you can't sit there and throw slurs about National Front, fella.
Well, usually when you get all these flags around, it's usually
it's patriots, isn't it, that are protesting against immigration.
Patriots been changed in this country by the National Front, the GMP.
No.
The what's that Farage nutter?
Reform.
Oh God, he's an absolute menace.
Well, Reform, I don't agree
like
with.
I said,
you know,
down there.
Don't be touching me.
No, you said about the camera, didn't we?
You know, well, they can hear your voice, so it's like, you know. But
anyway,
to make general jabs about the National Front is bang out of order for ordinary patriots. That's why I come up to you. You know, but don't be saying slurs about the National Front. You know. But thank you, but just next time, don't say anything about the National Front because it's not that.
Thank you very much. Fuck off.
Making general slibes as he walked past about the National Front. That's why I went after him. You know. No, exactly.
Yeah. Far right.
No, exactly. You know.
Why did he call you National Front?
Yeah, he walked past and went, "Oh, look, a National Front thing." So I went after him. You know what I mean? Oh, there we go, guys. Some fucking old little cruddy fuddy duddy that wants to illegals.
I'd like to say a couple of words. We've all got grievances, personal, how we feel about what's been happening to us and to our society, our culture, our general community is under threat.
It's painful to our ears.
I know, this is my son, so he's incredibly embarrassed. Anyway, I just wanted to say I feel great that I'm with you guys here. I know that a lot of people here don't understand what's going on here due to various different platform suppressions that no doubt are happening at the moment. But the Great British National Strike, I take it very seriously, because not from my personal position, but from my children's position and their lives going forward. I think when I feel that the erosion of what we've built over the last 70 years since we were last under pressure as a nation, we cannot let these people take any of this away from us. We have built our nation and we should stand strong to protect it.
Hear, hear.
As you can gather, I feel very emotional about this, and I'm quite an emotional guy anyway, but I have personal grievances and I will not go into those now, but there are mostly the people that I feel sorry for are the people that can't be here, and we must say thanks to absent friends for their support of us being here as well today. So when I talk about people that are not able to come here, they are either injured or are not physically able to be here, that they want to be here. So it was going to be brief. I end up talking monologues, but I just want to say, give yourselves a massive round of applause and do spread the word while we're here today and people are walking round. Yeah. We are our best salespeople for our nation. So yes, as people walk through, let them understand why we're here, and it's their choice whether they want to stand shoulder to shoulder with us.
Yeah.
So, well done, guys.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we should know is that there are many, many cities in this nation which are doing exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
If we're to make a suggestion to the organisers of this, that we consolidate our efforts in maybe 4 cities so that it becomes more of an impact. Yeah. But there's no two ways about it. Today, we're all out there spreading the word. So please talk to people that don't understand why we're here, because the movement is growing. We're at the spearhead of this, and we can be proud of ourselves when we look back on today, knowing full well that it's going to be darker than it is today, and we were here right at the beginning.
Exactly.
So well done, guys. I know you're in that, but thank you very much for standing.
Should we go back where we were?
It all goes towards.
There's a bin. Don't want to get done for littering by putting fag butts on the floor.
Or in the future, another way.
Straight.
Don't start, we'll be here for like... Don't start, otherwise we'll be... Dad, if you start, we're going to be here for a few years.
Excuse me, chap. Any chance I could just get a few words for TikTok? Just about what this is, because I've got people asking, that's all.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
If you'd just like to introduce yourself.
So my name's Paul Marshall. I'm a small business owner from Burford in Oxfordshire. I'm here in Gloucester today with a number of people that feel the same way, that some of our nation's values are being eroded. There are a number of things that are happening. Everybody's got their own grievances, but we seem to be under attack on multiple levels by multiple institutions within our government. And it's time that they knew that we're serious about what we're doing. So I'm here standing next to...
Sorry, what's it about, guys?
So I'll give you two ticks, I'll be with you. Anyway, thanks guys, we'll see you at the next big rally.
No worries. Thank you.
No worries.
Cheers, appreciate that. Right guys, that's going to be it from me. I've got things to do, family to see, etc. But that's been the Great British Strike demo here in Gloucester. We just spoke to the guy that organised it, so that gives a bit of an insight. I will clip it up and get it up. But before I do you remember the socialists from the start of the stream that we spoke to? They soon moved away, so I just have a quick question, really.
Where neoliberal policy, where everything is privatised, all public services getting cut. That became the policy. It was actually announced in 1976 by the Labour leader James Callaghan.
You might be able to answer, actually, fella.
Yeah.
Seems like we're in public. I will ask. Do you mind if I film?
I'm not really that bothered, no.
Right, okay, cool. I was just interested. Obviously, I spoke to this gentleman at the start, before you suddenly disappeared. I just wondered why that was, why you moved from over there down to here.
After me, so I can't answer that.
Oh, you were getting a lot of hassle?
Yeah, I was told I was despicable.
Despicable? Did anyone give you a reason why you were despicable?
Because apparently, if you don't think it's correct to say that that refugees are illegal in the first place, then you're supporting grooming gangs, which is absolute nonsense. And I tried to point out that if you look at the official figures of the ONS, the official Office of National Statistics, and the Home Office,
Yeah.
they will tell you that most grooming gangs are actually white. And when Suella Braverman made her statement about tackling Muslim grooming gangs,
Yeah.
that very week 12 white men and women were convicted
Yeah.
for grooming. So I think it's a deliberate attempt to racialise issues that are really about what's happening to working class people in this country. Now I can understand why people are upset about hotel accommodation.
Yep.
I'm upset about it. I'm not upset because refugees are in hotels. I'm upset because the government is paying money to companies that are charging £145 a day per person for putting several people into one room.
Yeah.
They are making millions. Refugees have become big business for companies like Circle.
Yep.
They've already got our prisons, they run the prisons, they already run NHS services. One of the people at this protest said she doesn't care about that. Well, I do, because that's where the money is going. The money is not going to refugees who get £45 a week to live on. It's going to big companies, and it's going to companies that aren't paying taxes. So if there isn't money for social services, for the heating allowance, for example, it's not because of illegal migration. It's in part because energy companies have made millions and millions and keep putting up the prices. There's no control. It's been privatised. Water has been privatised. The water companies have paid out billions in dividends since the privatisation of water. We're the only country in Europe with the privatised water industry. That's my beef with the whole thing.
Right.
And I I was married to somebody from a Muslim country. I know how difficult it is to get people into this country legally. He wasn't a refugee. I was married. I had an income. But it cost us a lot of money in visas and so on.
Yeah.
Had he been a political refugee, he couldn't go to his embassy, because people that go to their embassies, look what happened to the guy, the Saudi Arabian journalist who went to his embassy in Turkey.
Yeah,
He was murdered.
yeah.
So this idea that you can just walk in, put in a claim to asylum and it will all be sorted is a nonsense.
But would you also say then that these refugees, as you put them, I would call them elite criminals, basically, because if you break into somewhere, it's a crime, isn't it?
It's not a crime, actually.
It's not a crime to break into another country.
No, it isn't actually. It's
So you're telling me if I went to go and break into France or Germany, I wouldn't be arrested? Because it is a crime, isn't it? Like, if someone breaks into your house, that's a crime, isn't it? It's not a crime. So
a country is not a house. It's not.
It's the same principle, though, isn't it? If you break into someone's house, no, it's common sense principle. If common law would dictate that if I broke into your house, that's a crime, right? We have thousands of people breaking into this country and being put up in hotels where our elderly are going without, where our disabled are being punished. You know,
our elderly are not going without.
They're not going without. Okay, so how come my nan and granddad has lost their winter fuel allowance?
Because of asylum seekers. A lot.
Granted, I would state it's probably just not asylum seekers, but as we all know, the mainstream media and all the politicians like to push that narrative, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And then you wonder why the British common people who watch the mainstream media go down the immigration line.
I think there's been an awful lot more people that's walked past you than have joined you. So I would say.
Well, I don't see many people here. It's like your chap who I spoke to.
I'm not claiming to speak for the common people.
No, and I'm not claiming to speak for the common people. No, I'm not. But I believe that people that are here standing out have the same views and values. They're frustrated, they're angry, and you cannot turn around and say that it's not the mainstream media that pushes this immigration narrative, because it is. And then you wonder why people...
I didn't say that.
No, but I'm coming up against what you're saying, you know, and the reason why people are frustrated. You can go ahead and finish. Yes, that's not a problem.
Most of the people that come here do get a legal status, so they're not criminals, because if they were criminals, it was considered a crime under British law, they would not get a status, which they do. And the other thing is that most of them come from countries which we invaded.
Yes, we might have invaded. Okay, so let me push back on that.
So they are...
Would you allow me to push back on what you've just said? Okay, cool.
We put embargoes on their countries so they couldn't eat. We bombed those countries. We invaded those countries. We took part in an illegal war. So you could say that what we're getting back is what we caused to our criminal activities.
Right, so going back to your point that they're legally getting it, right? If they're fleeing these wars and torn countries, etc., why do they cross 5 safe havens? The majority of them cross 5 safe havens and then still come here. You're truly not a refugee, are you?
Yes.
Well, how are you? You're going through 5 safe havens, 5 safe countries.
Are you saying that the first country that takes them should keep them all?
No, but I do believe what Germany and the whole of Europe have done, they've pushed them because they don't want them in their country, which is fine. But we also don't want them here either. So,
Germany has four
you know.
Germany has 4 times as many refugees as Britain, and
That's why they're kicking them all out. They're rounding them up and kicking them all out.
I would say
The same that they did in Poland.
I would say that in every one of these countries there is an economic crisis.
Correct.
And it's very easy to scapegoat a minority, and particularly a minority from outside, and that is what is happening, and that is because they are not prepared to tackle the multinational companies like Amazon, who pay no taxes anywhere, but are earning trillions, not just billions. They don't tax the big companies, they make money out of this business, basically. They hand out private contracts instead of running public services, and they are making money hand over foot while we are having to pay the price. And the fact is that we are being distracted from that by other issues, by transgender issues, for example, or by illegal migration. All of these issues are red herrings to take our attention.
I would agree that they're very much all diversion tactics.
Housing crisis. There were, in 10 years, Gloucester built 10 council houses. Then it handed over all of the council housing to a housing association that then started acting as a private company. Those issues were going on. The crisis in the NHS was going on long before we had people coming in boats.
Okay.
And we're just being kidded. It's just.
Well, yes, it's all smoke and mirrors. Granted, I would very much say. I just have one question for you. With obviously the big issue, which is migration, would you house a migrant?
Actually, I will.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. Well, I'm an English warrior. What's your name, sorry?
Sue.
Sue. Well, thank you for your time, Sue. I appreciate that. Well, that was Sue that thinks that we're all mad, effectively. Wanted to go on a load of tirades about other shit that genuinely isn't relevant. Couldn't decipher that it's a criminal offence to break into someone's house, so why isn't that attributed to someone that's breaking into the country? Apparently it's not a crime, so maybe someone should go and break into our house. You know, people like that do make me giggle. But yeah, as I said, that was the demo here today in Gloucester for the Great British Strike that's going on all across the country. So we've been there and covered that today. I thank everyone that's been in, but that's going to be it from us today. So I appreciate you all and all that good stuff. But make sure you stay safe and fly your English flags high, guys.